Hello and welcome. I'm Pierre Fitter. You're watching Headlines Today. We've got news coming in right now that Pakistan will release 151 Indian fishermen tomorrow as a goodwill gesture. Remember, this comes just moments after it was announced that Nawaz Sharif will be attending Narendra Modi's swearing-in ceremony this Monday. Those fishermen will arrive in India via the land border, the land crossing at Wagah. Sahil Joshi joins us on the phone line for more on this, our Mumbai Bureau Chief. Sahil, what information are you getting?
The Pakistani government, on the backdrop of the invitation extended to Nawaz Sharif by Prime Minister-designate Narendra Modi for his swearing-in ceremony, the Pakistani government has decided to release around 151 fishermen who were stranded in Pakistani jails since last 10 years. And duly, the Indian High Commission has been informed. The India-Pakistan Judicial Commission for the prisoners have been given responsibility to make arrangements to get these prisoners to the border at Atari, and they will be in India on Monday by around 11 o'clock. So they will be brought to the border near Atari, and they will be released from there into Indian borders.
All right, Sahil, many thanks for that. Syed Naqvi is a known commentator on foreign affairs and joins us on the phone line now. Mr. Naqvi, important news this morning of Nawaz Sharif deciding finally to come to New Delhi.
I have a feeling that the minute the invitation went out from New Delhi, it was more or less certain that he would come. We are it's a very Asiatic and South Asian people. It is like a wedding reception, and when you invite people to a shadi, it is very, very difficult not to come. You would have to be enemies not to be. In fact, even enemies show up and they break the ice and turn up. Now,
Syed Naqvi, but Manmohan Singh was unable to go or did not go for Nawaz Sharif swearing in, and if that was also like a shadi, India did not go, and many in Pakistan said that's the reason exactly why Nawaz Sharif should not come to India.
No, there is a completely, we are comparing apples and oranges. Manmohan Singh was so weak and rendered weaker by a whole series of events that the minute he looked over his shoulder towards Pakistan, the entire strategic community, he was hooted and shouted down, more or less. He simply did not have the courage. And poor man, look at the lack of courage. They had decorated his village in Gah for him. He simply did not have the gumption and the courage to go there. It was simple lack of nerves on his part. And he could have done it. He was very keen to do it, but he wasn't. Anyway, here you are talking of different people altogether. Now, he knows, Nawaz Sharif knows he has to live with a very new kind of strength, powerful India. It is an India with a center of gravity. It is an India with a new leader, and a new leader who likes to sketch. Look, I mean, he has barely won the election, and he had hopped from Gandhinagar from Gujarat to Delhi, and then suddenly he leaps onto this big monument called Sark, and he's standing right there. So this is the kind of a leader that Pakistan and all the neighbors have begun to anticipate. So he had to come. Whatever delay there was, I think what we have started doing is we analyze, which is very good. The argumentative Indian is a good thing. But we overanalyze when it comes to Pakistan, and sometimes we analyze on flimsy data. Right. So therefore, it was known that he would come. The delay may have been on account of whether it will be for 2 days or 3 days. And now it turns out that it is going to be more than just a casual visit.
All right, Syed Naqvi, we appreciate you joining Headlines Today this morning for your take on this development. Murtaza Solanki is a journalist from Pakistan. He joins us right now. Murtaza, as Syed was saying, the delay may have been on account of whether it was a 2-day visit or a 3-day visit. We do know that there will be at least one extra day on this visit beyond the 26th. What is Pakistan expecting out of that extra day?
It's clear that Pakistan's new government is serious in addressing issues between both countries with the new leadership in Delhi. I think Nawaz Sharif took his time consulting his advisors and allies to decide what he should do, and there was a bipartisan support across the political spectrum in Pakistan supporting Mr. Nawaz Sharif to go, and I think he has made a good decision.
All right, I just want to bring in an important point that we're breaking this news right now, and this is a comment made by Sartaj Aziz to a newspaper just a short while ago. He said that he welcomes the decision by Nawaz Sharif to go to New Delhi, but he said that there will be no bilateral talks on Tuesday, and he said the visit was purely ceremonial and simply an occasion to get to know each other, talking about the two prime ministers of the countries. Murtaza Solanki, tell us about this particular aspect now, because as you said, there was a negotiation maybe for an extra day, perhaps something out of it, but now we know there are no bilateral talks.
Well, the very fact that Mr. Nawaz Sharif is coming even to attend the oath-taking ceremony says about the intention and the direction Nawaz Sharif government wants to go. Even if they are not holding bilateral talks, maybe they want Mr. Modi to settle in. There would be other opportunities, maybe in September in New York. And there would be more. He has 4 more years to go. And, you know, Mr. Modi has just come in. So there is no hurry. I think we should focus on the main spirit. The spirit is that PM Nawaz Sharif is coming and attending this SARC spirit. That's important.
All right, Murtaza Solanki, thank you very much for your take on this story. Hamza Amir, our correspondent in Islamabad, joins us on the phone line now. Hamza, what are you hearing from government officials about this visit? We seem to have lost our connection there to Hamza, but I want to come to Gaurav on that last bit of news that we brought our viewers, Gaurav, that Sartaj Aziz says there will be no bilateral talks, but that this is an important opportunity for the two men to get to know each other.
Well, that is the main focus of this visit. Prime Minister designate Narendra Modi will be meeting all the SARC heads of state and governments, but this is not a visit all about. So the point that I was making at that point of time, no bilaterals. What does this mean? That this is not resumption of dialogue between India and Pakistan. This is just a ceremonial visit, and that was the question, Pierre, that we were raising. What's the big takeaway for Nawaz Sharif? Perhaps, as Sharif Rahman was saying, this is just the two leaders assessing each other, sizing each other up, getting to know each other.
And you know, that's important, Gaurav, because when we go back to Narendra Modi's campaign speeches, as you were talking earlier, he said there'll be no dialogue as long as there's gunfire. We saw that on Friday. India hasn't directly blamed Pakistan for that, but Narendra Modi is still very cagey about opening up completely, because as far as the Indian government is concerned, we've seen attempts to cross the border. We've seen attacks in Jammu and Kashmir over the past couple of months. I'm told Javed Ansari, our national affairs editor, is joining us right now. Javed, an important moment for Narendra Modi as far as politics is concerned, because everyone who he wanted to be there from the South Asian region will be there, including Nawaz Sharif now.
The significance lies not just for Narendra Modi, but also far beyond that, for India-Pak relations and for peace in the region. It's important not to get carried away. It's not as if one handshake will erase the bitter memories of the past, but yes, this should break the ice. It will be a good occasion for both leaders to acquaint themselves with each other. I am given to understand from the Pakistan side that there is a separate meeting between Mr. Nawaz Sharif and Mr. Narendra Modi, along with some key aides slated for Tuesday around 10 a.m. We are still awaiting confirmation from the Indian government side, but this is what we are given to understand from the Pakistan government side, that there is a meeting slated for Tuesday. But that notwithstanding, this is a welcome step, and perhaps if there can be some broad understanding on the way forward, it will be it should be considered a success. All kudos to the new government for taking this for taking this boldish initiative and by inviting leaders from SAARC countries in the teeth of opposition from some of their supporting parties and allies.
And particularly for Pakistan, given what we've heard over the past few days. I want to come to Gaurav on that point that you were making, Javed, about this being there being a meeting on Tuesday that we're hearing about, but we're also hearing from Sartaj Aziz that it's not a bilateral meeting. Gaurav, for the lay viewer, separate the two, because we're hearing that there will be that the two prime ministers will meet, but this is not a bilateral meeting. What does that mean?
Well, there would be courtesy calls. The two leaders, or so to say, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and all the SAARC heads of state and government will have a one-on-one. They will get to know each other. They'll talk to each other. They'll talk about issues of mutual interest with each other. But it's more of a courtesy call. There isn't an India-Pakistan bilateral, so to say, where there's a takeaway. There's a big takeaway both for India and for Pakistan, because there is no agenda from what sources in the Ministry of External Affairs are telling us. There is no major agenda that's being laid out. This is not resumption of dialogue between India and Pakistan. India is very keen to remain engaged with Pakistan, but for that, terror has to stop first.
We're getting news, as we told you this hour, that Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif of Pakistan will be travelling to New Delhi to attend Narendra Modi's swearing-in ceremony on Monday. We're joined on the phone line now by Tariq Azim. He is an advisor to Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. Mr. Azim, can you confirm this news? Mr. Sharif will be coming to New Delhi?
Yes, I can confirm that Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif will be coming to India on Monday to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and he will be on a goodwill mission, and he'll take part in the oath-taking ceremony.
And we're hearing also of a meeting on Tuesday. Do you know about the contours of that meeting and what they'll be discussing?
I think these things are still a matter of discussion between the two foreign officers.
Do you know how long he will be in Delhi, sir?
He'll just be there one day.
All right. So he'll be leaving on Monday evening itself?
Monday he'll be there for the 6 o'clock inauguration ceremony, oath-taking ceremony on Monday. So it will be a one-day trip, yeah.
Is there a bilateral between the two prime ministers scheduled, sir?
I believe that we are hoping that there will be a bilateral meeting. It will be a short bilateral meeting, but we are hoping that this will be opening up a new era of negotiations and talks between the two countries.
What would be the takeaway for Pakistan? What would you want to go back with? Resumption of dialogue? Is that what you're looking for? What is Pakistan looking at, sir?
We are looking at better relations with India, which includes bilateral talks, which includes talks on trade between the two countries. Overall, we were looking for peace in this region. That has been on the top of the agenda for peace in this region, which augurs well, not only for this region, but for the whole world. Everybody has got eyes on this region, and they want to see better relations between India and Pakistan.
Could you help us understand the background to the decision? Because most other South Asian leaders confirmed well in advance. What were some of the factors that went into the decision happening on Saturday for Prime Minister Sharif?
Well, I mean, he is a busy man. As you know, he just couldn't just have as regards the invitation, he couldn't just say immediately. He had to look up in his own schedule, and he had to consult his own party leaders. So, you know, I mean, there was too much made out, you know, why is it taking, 48 hours, why is it taking 2 days? I mean, so this is a normal routine. When you've got a leader who has got many other commitments, we have to see whether he can make it. I mean, especially if you're going to India, there are many expectations on both sides, and so there's a lot of things to consider.
And you know, you talked about expectations, Mr. Azim. Any specific expectations from this one-day visit?
Well, we just obviously hope that it's not going to be just a photo op, just to go and shake hands and come back. We hope that, once he meets, he get to know the new leader. And he has got some very fond memories of what happened when Mr. Bajpai came to Lahore, and he had a very good meeting with him. And he takes with him those fond memories, and he thinks we can start from where we left off in '99. So, we hope that this will be a beginning of a new era of better understanding, better relations with the two nuclear states. So the war is no longer an option between the two countries, as we all know. So the talks are the only way forward where we can resolve any issues between the two countries. It augurs a new era of friendship, better understanding,
something better to come for people of both countries. So I think, we are hoping that this will be a new beginning.
A hopeful note, Mr. Azim, thank you very much. The Prime Minister's advisor, Prime Minister Sharif's advisor, telling us the beginning of a new era is where he hopes that one-day visit will lead to, or what he hopes that one-day visit will lead to.